Y'all want the perfect Black History Month Valentine's Day movie? Well, here it is. A few days late, the classic Love and Basketball. 1981. A boy named Quincy is playing basketball with his friends when a kid approaches and asks to join. They let the kid, thinking he's a boy, so they're surprised to find that she's a girl. She's confident she's better at them and insists that she'll be the first female to join the NBA. Girl, they even stricter on people's sex in sports nowadays. Her name is Monica, and they just moved in next door to Quincy's. Monica obviously got the moves, and when Quincy loses patience, he pushes her. Monica's mother, Camille, cleans the blood off of Monica's cheek. She doesn't like her daughter acting all non-binary, but the father, Nathan, shrugs it off. Next door, Quincy writes an apology letter. He lives with his parents, Nona, who is a housewife with a crazy-ass 80s wig, and Zeke, who used to be an NBA player. Quincy looks up to his father and follows his advice, and even when his parents argue, he doesn't hold a grudge against him. Nona takes a cake to the new neighbors, giving Quincy and Monica more time to get to know each other. Nona tries to do a ghetto high five, but Alfre Woodard too white in this movie and leaves her hanging. That night, Monica's sister, Lena, fixes her hair for school the next day, trying to tame her wild hair to fit in more with the saltine Sallies at school. Meanwhile, Quincy watches her from his bedroom window. The next day, Quincy is surprised to see Monica wearing a dress, so he quickly asks if she'll be his girlfriend. Being so young, Monica says yes, and they have their first kiss, which has lasted for only 5 seconds. But the two break up right away after Monica refuses to ride Quincy's bike. She says his dad played for the worst team, throwing shade. Then they beat each other up and wrestle on the ground. 1988. In high school, Monica still loves basketball, but even though she's good, she's also too hot-headed and easily gets fouled out. She's pissed because coaches from different universities are watching, and she can't show off her skills from the bench. Monica's mom tries to scold her with her bangs looking like a hot mess. Later, she complains about it to her family. So angry, Monica lies and tells her mom she's a lesbian. And I'm over here laughing at Lena's reaction because Regina Hall always cracking me up with her facial expressions. They want her to think about other things for the future, but Monica hopes to be scouted by USC coaches in the next game. Quincy, however, is all about girls. A girl named Shawnee even asked Monica to pass a note to Quincy for her. She says Quincy is a man whore, but Shawnee don't care because she just want to lick Quincy's sweat off. Let's search up how Omar Epps looked like today. I'm sure he's still fine. Oh, never mind. Quincy is doing great in basketball, but his father wants him to focus on his studies first. Later, he and Monica drive home together, and Monica reads the note from Shawnee asking Quincy to the spring dance and that she'll leave him satisfied. Monica laughs, calling Shawnee a hoe. Then Quincy mentions Monica's game and advises her not to be so short-tempered because no one is going to recruit her. At home, Nona warns Quincy to be careful with girls, saying when girls look at him, all they see is dollar signs and they finna trap him to be their baby daddy. Then she confronts Zeke when he gets home, complaining about how he always comes home late. I just know that man coming home smelling like pussy sweat. When Quincy overhears the fight, he knocks at Monica's window and sleeps in her room that night. The next day, Lena worries that Monica won't go to the dance, so she reveals that she has asked a friend from college to be Monica's date and says he's fine. We'll be the judge of that. During the final game, USC coaches are present and Monica tries her best to be calm, but they still lose. On the night of the dance, Quincy is already having fun with Shawnee when Monica arrives with her date, Jason. And geez, he is fine. When Quincy sees her, he leaves Shawnee and approaches. He compliments her, but Jason is like, "This my girl." Quincy and Monica spend the night with their respective dates, even though they keep throwing looks at each other. Girl, Jason the better looking one, but Monica apparently loves doing community service. After the dance, Monica goes home. She sees that Quincy's already back, so she calls him over and asks him about his date. Quincy admits they left the party right after Monica left. So Monica says that Jason was kissing and touching her, but she just didn't like him, so he took her home. Then she hands Quincy the USC letter she found inside the house, and he opens it for her. He says that like him, Monica also got into USC. He's about to hug her, but Monica kisses him, which is a surprise for both of them. But before they know it, they're bumping and grinding on the lawn in the middle of the night. They take their game inside, and because it's Monica's first time, they do it slowly and sweetly. Well shit, Santa Lathan is so fine. She aged like wine, get better with time. 1988 to 89. Monica finds it hard to keep up with the USC basketball team. She feels like her coach picks on her and that her teammates don't like her being the freshman that she is. Quincy doesn't have the same problem. He's doing great and is even popular among the girls. During a practice game, Monica poses for too long after a shot, and her coach calls her out and scolds her to stay in that pose for the rest of practice. The players keep making fun of her, and she snaps and starts to talk back. Because her comment is directed at Sidra, Sidra reveals that the only reason Monica got recruited was because the other girl got pregnant and Monica was chosen to replace her. Okay, but Sidra looks like she snuck into Earth. To distract herself, she visits Quincy and talks to him. In turn, he challenges her to a one-on-one basketball game where stripping is involved, and it most likely ends with the two playing with Quincy's balls. Quincy leads his team to win the championship, and Zeke is so proud of him. However, he advises Quincy to focus on his studies because the NBA is not going anywhere. Zeke reveals that he is currently facing a very serious problem. A woman has claimed that he is the father of her child, but Zeke insists that it's not true. Then he warns Quincy that it's one of the very possible problems he could face if he rushes into going pro. Bitch, that's also a problem if you sass, always sleeping around when you're married. When Quincy gets home, he finds his mother getting drunk. He knows the problem must be about the baby daddy issue, so he tells her to have faith in her husband. Because Zeke told him it was a lie, Quincy tries to convince his mother not to believe TMZ. That's when Nona shows him the photos. She has hired someone to follow Zeke, and it's confirmed that he's been seeing another woman. So Quincy comforts his mother after finding out the truth. He confides in Monica, saying he feels betrayed because his father got a hotation. Monica knows that Quincy needs her, but her curfew's coming up, and she'll get in trouble with her coach if she misses it. So she tells Quincy she has to go. In the next game, Quincy is very distracted. He is not himself, and he always misses his shots, and it's very evident to everyone who's watching. In the end, they lose the game. Meanwhile, Monica's doing great, and they win the game by 1 point. Her team congratulates her, and her coach wants her to play for the next game. She also explains that she's stricter with Monica because she has potential. At a party, Sidra, who has a broken ankle, congratulates her for winning, and that's on karma. Then Monica is shocked to see Quincy flirting with another girl, yet he doesn't seem to care about it. Even when she asks, he shrugs it off like it was nothing. Quincy is pissed when he sees his father waiting for him in his dorm room. Zeke tries to explain, saying that the kid is not really his. He knows that Quincy saw the photo already, so he doesn't try to deny it anymore. But he tells his son that when he finally makes it big, there will be a lot of women wanting to bang him. He even says that Nona got pregnant with Quincy at just 19 years old when she knew that Zeke wasn't ready to be married yet. Quincy gets pissed because his father implied that his mom trapped him. Then he reveals that he's dropping out of school to go pro. Zeke thinks Quincy is doing it out of spite. Wanting to reconcile with her boo, Monica visits Quincy. To her surprise, he introduces Carrie, the girl from last night, as if he's bragging about a side chick. Monica is so offended that she leaves, saying, "You can have this man who looked like my ashy knees." She goes home, but because her father's not there, she just decides to go back. Quincy waits for Monica and explains himself, saying Carrie was there when he was down. Yeah, I'm sure she got dicked down. Quincy complains Monica is too focused on basketball and not him, so she tries to meet Quincy in the middle. But Quincy says he doesn't really want them to be together because he has plans for his future, and Monica is not part of that. Girl, that man a Midwest too. You a 10. 1993. Monica still plays basketball, but this time in Spain. She sees Sidra in one IWBA game. Sidra brags about how she finna beat Monica. However, Monica leaves her trophy on the table to show off. Two men hit on the girls, but Monica admits she ain't never tried a Spanish boy. Sidra says Italians love her in Italy, but we all know the truth about Spaniards and Italians. They talk about how there is nothing for them out there if they stop playing ball. As for Quincy, he's a professional basketball player now and making a name for himself with the Lakers. Omar Epps 5'9" on a good day. That man being in the NBA is not believable. Unfortunately, he gets cocky and somehow dunks, causing him to fall on his cankles and get hospitalized. Zeke rushes to the hospital and learns that Quincy has torn his ACL. He also sees Nona's new husband for the first time. Quincy is still mad at him. They haven't talked in 5 years because Quincy distanced himself after his parents got divorced. Zeke tells Quincy not to lose hope because he can still do anything he wants to, but Quincy sends him away, saying he has stopped taking his advice when Zeke put his seed in another woman. Monica visits Quincy too, and it's been 4 years since they last saw each other. Monica compliments his pubes on his face. Quincy admits he tried to reach out to her before. Then Monica says she's not going back to Spain to play and thinks about taking a break from it all. That's when Kira walks in, and Quincy introduces Monica to his fiancée. Somehow this man got Gabrielle Union, Tyra Banks, and Sana? Lord, I've seen what you've done for others. Afterwards, Monica approaches her mother, hoping to hear some advice. But Camille is so used to having Monica hate her, so she gives her attitude instead of a proper conversation. Camille thinks that Monica is ashamed of her because she is a superstar, and her mother is just a housewife. So Monica reveals that she's ashamed because Camille lets her husband walk all over her. Camille gets so angry that she slaps Monica so hard that both of them end up in a Tyler Perry project, The Family That Prays. Monica apologizes right away. Camille explains she cares about her family and that there's nothing wrong with that. Monica still misses Quincy, but now she's trying to do something with her life, so she starts working at a bank that her Obama-looking father helped her get. Meanwhile, Quincy does his best in physical therapy to get his knees back into shape. One day, Quincy sees Monica coming home, and he even teases her. Then Monica says that she no longer feels the same way about basketball and will do something else with her life. Quincy doesn't understand why, because he knows how much Monica loves to play. But he, on the other hand, is convinced that he's done with basketball. He's thinking about going back to school. They don't notice that Camille is watching them. One day, Camille admits that she thinks Monica should be with Quincy and not the five-head. After thinking about what her mother said, Monica knocks on Quincy's window that night. She admits that she's been in love with him since she was 11 and that her feelings never changed. She adds that basketball is no longer fun for her because Quincy is gone. And for some reason, she absolves him of any wrongdoing when they were in college, saying she should have been there for him. And that made it okay for him to disrespect you with another girl? Quincy thinks it's already too late because he's about to get married in 2 weeks. So Monica challenges him into a one-on-one basketball game. If she wins, Quincy will be hers. She knows that the only way she will win is if Quincy lets her, so she will take it as a signal that he likes her too. But if Quincy wins, then Monica will buy him a wedding gift. So Quincy agrees. Best of 5, and Monica gets the first 3 very easily. She even taunts Quincy because he barely moves. Quincy struggles with his leg, so he removes the knee brace and starts making some moves. Monica tries her very best, but she still loses in the end. She walks away feeling defeated, but Quincy stops her, then kisses her. A few years later, and Monica has already achieved her dreams, and Quincy sits in the crowd with their daughter, showing support to his wife. This was a very sweet classic movie. I love seeing Sana Lathan and Omar Epps at their best. What did you guys think of this one?
Subscribe to watch more videos like this. Turn on notifications. And leave a like, it really helps the channel out. Thank you for watching.